Bend the knee, dang it. Hello and good morning to y'all. This is Don Willie back again with another Game of Thrones accent challenge. And this time, I'm going to be doing my best approximation of a Southern accent. Now, before any of y'all get offended, listen, I understand I am perceived as a Yankee, being from New York City and all, but, I'm actually born in the great state of Mississippi in the city of Jackson. Now, while I have not lived there for any significant amount of time, that is where I was born. So, for some people here up north, they actually do consider me to be a Southerner. With that said, let us begin. My name is Donald Williams. My username is Don Willie, and I do not have a blog. I live in Brooklyn, New York, but as stated before, I was actually born in Jackson, Mississippi. My own list of word pronunciations: Blackfire, Zyro Zoandoxus, Dragonstone, Hodor, Valamorghulis, Valadaharis, Robert, Allison Thorne, Sansa, Edmure, Brendan, Brandon, Pentos, Dothraki, Valeria, Westeros, Sartorios, Oberyn, Nymeria, Renly, Stannis, Arya, Yunkai, Joffrey, Lannisport. Which house am I from? Well, I reckon, since I happen to like trout, very, very tasty fish, if you can get them, I'd have to say I'm from House Tully. I happen to like rivers, I happen to like fish, so yeah, House Tully. Which of the five kings do I fight for? I'd have to say I fight for the one true king, Stannis the Menace, House Baratheon. Oh yeah, Stannis. Favorite character? My favorite character happens to be Sebastian Selmy. Very honorable man, very good sword fighter, and when the chips down, you can always count on Sebastian to come through. Favorite book? I'd have to say my favorite book is the book in which it all started, being Game of Thrones. Yeah, it is actually my favorite book out of them all. Favorite sigil and words? My favorite sigil, I'd have to say, is House Dondarrion. With lightning and stars and all that. Yeah, that one's pretty cool right there. My favorite house words would have to be the house words of, Tyrell, growing strong, because, at the end of the day, it's what I plan to do forever and always. Grow strong. North, south, or across the narrow sea. Well, as stated before, I do happen to like rivers, so I'd have to say south. I'm a southerner. Who do I think will sit the Iron Throne at the end? If I had to pick any one candidate to sit the Iron Throne at the end, so what I'm gonna go with Sansa. I think the story is kind of being set up for Sansa to sit the Iron Throne. That's just my take on it. There, you let me know who you think gonna sit the Iron Throne. Shagadog, Grey Wind, Summer, Lady, Nymeria, or Ghost. You know what? I happen to like Shagadog. Shagadog wild. I'm a wild boy. Shagadog's a wild boy. So there you go. But I joined a nice watch. Now, why the hell would I want to go all the way up north to freeze my another region, just to fight against some ice zombies? You let them come down here where it's nice and warm, and if they happen not to melt, I got something that'll melt them all right. Go to King's Landing and give me some wildfire. Most hated character. You know what? My most hated character is the Hound. He spends all this time moaning and bitching and complaining about his brother and how his brother done treated him bad. You're a grown man. Man up already. Stop complaining. Stop your whining, Sandor. Khaleesi or Queen. Khaleesi got on horsemen's around her. I happen to like the open plains as well, so I'm gonna go with Khaleesi. Queen wants to be all fancy and everything. Now, the hell with all that fancy smancy stuff. I'll take Khaleesi any day. She's rough and rugged. She's out there with the people. If you're gonna be a ruler, you got to get down with the people. Dragons and direwolves. Well, you know what? I say direwolves because wolves are closely related to dogs. Dog is a man's best friend. While I don't have a dog right now myself, if I had a dog, I might name him something like one of the characters from Game of Thrones. That's just me. Listen, dragons are too unpredictable. Fire is a little bit too unpredictable, so I don't think I want no dragons around me. But I will take a dive, Wolf. Which god or gods do you pray to? Well, obviously I ain't praying to no Lord, because like I said, I'm not big fan of that unpredictable fire. I'm not praying to no trees. That definitely for sure. And seven gods is way too confusing. So I think I'd have to stick with the Iron Man on this one and pray to the ground god. Like I said, I happen to like water. I happen to like water a lot. So while I'm out there weaving and traversing the seas, I think I would pledge my allegiance to the ground god. Favorite line from the series? I'd have to say my favorite line from the series is from A Game of Thrones when Tyrion tells Jon, "Never forget who you are, for the world will surely not make it your strength, and it can never be your weakness. Armor yourself, and it can never be used to hurt you." Anyway, this has been part 3 of my take on the Game of Thrones accent challenge. I hope y'all liked it, and if y'all didn't happen to like it too much, sorry, that's all I have to say right there. But again, please don't take any of these accents to be offensive. I'm just having a little bit of fun, y'all, okay? You already know the deal. Rate, comment, subscribe, share. Tell your folks, come back for more. That's been my time. Don Willie, I'm out.